周一上班打开信箱，一看就是100多则的邮件，那你会先看哪一则呢？就算花了很多时间写 email 的内容，平淡的 subject line 就很可能被人遗忘。那今天就让我们来听听到底要怎么写，才能让人马上点开你的 email。Hello， 欢迎来到 Executive Plus 主管双语沟通力的 podcast。我们希望带给大家最实用的沟通工具，包括了成功人士对全球市场的分享、职场英语的技能、跨文化沟通技巧与其他能帮助您成为出色领导者的工具。Hi, I'm Sherry, founder of Executive Plus. As a language trainer and certified coach, I've trained hundreds of managers from Fortune 500 companies such as Dior, Google, Deloitte, and Yahoo.And
I'm Nick, Director of Communication Strategy at Presentality.I've helped startups raise millions of US dollars in funding and train the executives of publicly listed companies to present on the global stage.
Welcome to the Executive Plus podcast,
where you can take your communication and language skills from good to great. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Executive Plus podcast. Today, we're going to cover a topic that we've got asked a lot about, which is emailing.But we're going to start not talking about the content of the email, but the main issue that most people have, which is getting other people to open your email in the first place. Now, we're not going to talk about marketing emails or what you see in your spam folder box. We actually want to talk about how do you get your coworkers or your boss to open your email every time.
我相信大家比如说礼拜一上班啊，或者是你休假了几天，然后你看到你的 inbox， 你就会发现 Oh my God, there are 1,000 emails. I don't know what to open, what to read. 你也不知道哪一封才是最重要的。但是呢，如果你是另外一个人好了，如果你是花很多时间写这封 email 的人，然后你寄到你老板信箱，你老板一打开，不太确定要不要念你的 email， 然后就先点了别人，很快的他可能就遗忘了你的 email。这个时候我们的 subject line 就非常的重要。那其实今天的 episode 它是 kind of like a combination of different resources that we've been listening to or read. It came from books, it came from masterclass, it came from other articles. 然后今天结合了这几个不同的一些资源，还有我们自己的本身的 personal experience, 然后我们希望带给大家3个非常好的 subject line 技巧。
The first quick tip that we want to share has to do with something very simple, and that's placing a number inside your subject headline. You may get a lot of marketing emails that do this, but they do it usually large to make you feel you got a lot, like 50 of the best celebrity beauty tips. What we want to do is take it down to the opposite, which is talk about what can someone do very quickly, like 3 steps to complete this plan.Or 2 things I need you to handle this afternoon. The idea of a number in your subject line is just so your coworkers or your boss can look at it and go, okay, this is just going to take me a very little time to process, or it's just 1 or 2 things I need to look at.
那我记得这个 tip 是来自于 Daniel Pink 的 masterclass， 那他是一个等于说是一个 sales 的专家，那他就有一些 study 显示说，当人听到 number 的时候，或者是看到 number 的时候，他特别会想要点阅进去。那因为我们现在的对象是自己的同事、客户或者是老板，大家的时间都非常的有限，所以我们尽量建议大家，你的 number 是从1到10， just anything from 1 to 10 and that's it. Don't go anything over than that. You might get a different effect.
Anything above 10 will start to feel like a daunting task.
Yeah.
Right? 20 things that we need to do this month.
You're
as
like,
soon as
no.
you see that number, you're like, oh, please no.
Exactly. So I mean, like, even when you're writing to your boss, okay, your boss is super busy, but you really want to talk to your boss, but she's walking around, she's heading to different meetings. Just type this. One more new idea about the project, right? Just one more. 这个时候人家都会觉得说，诶 one more 那还好嘛，可能花给我1分钟时间。
And part of it maybe is we're not going to promise that your boss or your coworkers are going to look at your email and be like, yay, one more thing. They may look at it and be like, crap. Okay, what do they want now? But if it's one more thing, they'll probably still think, all right, it's just one thing. It's fine. It's fine. I'll open it and I'll just read it. Now, that doesn't mean send them 4 different emails that say one more thing. If you say one more thing, be honest, one more thing. But again, think about what's going to cause them to look at the email and go, okay, I can process this now. I can open it or I can read it quickly.
And you can use this way for many different types of emails. For example, you're summing up the meeting that you just had, right? You want to kind of put a small summary. You can just say, all right, 5 things you need to know about the meeting.
Yeah, or the 5 key takeaways from today's discussion on, and then whatever your meeting was about.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go to the second tip. 我们第2个技巧就是放时间。那记得我们这个时候要运用我们的 bracket, right? We got to have a bracket and put the time, how much time they need for this particular email.
You'll actually see this quite often on a lot of news articles these days where, again, people are usually very conscious of their time. In their free time, they might deep dive on YouTube or Reddit and just spend hours reading. But a lot of times, when I'm in a professional setting or I want to read something serious, I know it's going to take me 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I may push it aside. But if it's like 2-minute read or 3-minute action, these kind of things I can go, okay, I'll just carve out a little bit of time. So it may be something like, in brackets, 2-minute read, key contract changes.
Yeah.
If I just wrote in the subject line, key contract changes, the first thing in someone's mind is like, oh, this is going to take a while. It's going to take me some time to process this.
Yeah.
But maybe it's something very simple. It's just changing a term, changing the wording. And you think that should only take them 2 minutes to read. That will change the feeling. If I read key contract change, I'm like, oh, not right now. But if it says like 2-minute action, key contract changes, then I know, oh, I can process this, I can be done, and I can check something off of my to-do list.
Absolutely. 或者是有的时候你可能需要对方看一下 contracts or any kind of documents. 就是我们尽量的要用我们的 bracket. So bracket, 2-minute action, 再一个 bracket, and signature of the contract.
Something that will take someone no time at all. Or perhaps, again, is like study you need to read to understand our next client. And then, so you can have bracket, 5-minute read, bracket. Study you need to read to talk to our next client.
So now 第3个我们的 tip 也就是 put the action. What they actually need to do. Put that action in the subject line.
We talk a lot about when writing the content of your email that what you want or what you want someone to do, your call to action should always be early. But in some cases, your action, especially if it's a very quick action, should just be in the subject line. Don't wait for them to get into the email because what you need may not take a lot. Or maybe it does take a lot, but someone gets really annoyed. Like if I need to read your entire email to figure out what you actually want, I can get frustrated really quickly.
Yeah.
But if right up front in the email subject line it says editing required, feedback required, then I know exactly what I need to do and potentially how long it should take me.
因为我觉得大家现在你那么多的 email 你必须要看，你还要一封一封的打开来，然后再去慢慢的读，去了解你到底需要做什么 action。因为在公司嘛 it's more action oriented, right? You want to check that off the list. So immediately you're telling this person what they have to do with this email. 那我觉得这个其实带给大家都是非常好的 benefit， 因为我们都可以 benefit from this kind of it's saving time for both parties.
A lot of times what you need to think about is in a professional work setting.
Yeah.
Don't do this to your friends. Don't do this to your family. But in a professional work setting, any email that you send out, think about it in terms of your coworkers probably have a to-do list. They probably have things that they want to complete. And when you're sending out an email, it should be to help them complete their to-do list. So when you have these things like your time to read, your action required, or the number of things that they need to do, you're helping it just very quickly organize, okay, in their to-do list, can they fit you in? Is this part of what they're trying to do? And it's really about helping them complete their tasks.
Yeah. It just really helps your email to be on top of the priority list of the day.
Yeah, but again, don't do this to your family. Please do not email your spouse and be like, 3 action items for dinner, 2-minute read, cooking required.
That's not okay?
That's not okay. But in terms of your colleagues, in terms of your boss, they'll appreciate. The other thing that you will find is with these very concrete subject lines, if someone is searching for a message in their email, it's so much easier to find.
It is.
Right? Because if something like contract signature is always in the subject headline, when they're browsing their inbox, then they're thinking, okay, where's that contract? Where's that contract? And then boom, right there, contract signature. Or it's like, oh, what did we talk about in the meeting? What is it, the thing that I need to do in the meeting? But then right there, 3 things from the meeting on this date.
所以咯，希望今天给大家的3个 tips and tricks 可以帮助你自己，也可以帮助别人。
We'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
如果你喜欢我们的 podcast， 欢迎来追踪我们的主管英文 Executive Plus 的 Facebook。那也可以写信到我们的信箱yourcareerplus@gmail.com。